2020 has been a hard year for a lot of people. There's just no getting around that. And well, basically, we all just want to kind of forget about it and move on. But what a lot of people don't remember is that there were some truly pure and touching moments in 2020. And those we shouldn't forget about. So, as the year comes to a close, let's run through a few of the good things that happened in this god-awful year. Mumbaikars rallied to help a vegetable seller during a hard lockdown. After 4 months of lockdown, Ashok Singh, a Mumbai vegetable seller, finally reopened his shop. But this was during the monsoon and the streets flooded outside his shop, forcing him to close it once again. Ashok broke down in tears just outside King's Circle, and this powerful picture was captured by a Mumbai Mirror photographer. Proving that the internet can be a beautiful place, several people reached out to Ashok, and by the end of the day, people contributed around 2 lakhs to get him back on his feet. Citizens raised 8 lakhs for a vegetable vendor whose cart was stolen. In a similar story of individuals coming together to help someone less fortunate than them, a fruit vendor from North Delhi was shattered when people robbed around 30,000 worth of mangoes from his cart. In May of this year, Full Mia, the vendor, had left it unattended for just a few minutes and it was completely broken after what happened. The incident went viral after a witness captured the entire thing on camera. Soon enough, thousands of requests for his account details started coming in to NDTV, who had first covered the story. Within a few days, from across the country, contributors sent in donations of more than 8 lakhs. Dozens of Kerala locals saved lives during an Air India plane crash. On August 7th, an Air India flight crashed at the Kozhikode airport in Kerala after overshooting the runway. The plane was literally split in two, 18 people lost their lives, and hundreds of others were left injured. As tragic as it was, it could have been a lot worse had it not been for the overpouring of help and support from people from neighboring areas. They braved the pouring rain and kept aside the fear of the pandemic to reach the crash site and help the passengers. Hundreds volunteered at hospitals to donate blood, and people from Twitter helped coordinate the rescue efforts. According to several accounts by doctors, these quick actions may have saved hundreds of lives. A Hyderabad cop ran 2 kilometers to clear the path on a busy road for an ambulance. In November, an ambulance was stuck on a traffic-filled road in Hyderabad. And as we all know, India's traffic is unrelenting. But thanks to the efforts of a dutiful traffic constable, the ambulance was able to wade its way through. Babaji, as he's lovingly known, ran 2 kilometers to clear the way for the ambulance. A video of the incident was shared on Twitter by the Hyderabad police handle as well as by fellow officers. Babaji later mentioned that he had no idea who the patient was and was just happy to get him to the hospital quickly. Kerala teachers teach kids of migrant workers living under a bridge. Many kids' education stopped abruptly when COVID-19 struck, and for many, it was an extremely tough time. For instance, a group of children of migrant workers who live in Karnataka have had a hard life. They've been living under the Vallarpadam bridge in Kochi for over a decade, and the lockdown hit them hard, taking away any access to education. The teachers at St. John Bosco Upper Primary School decided that they needed to do something for these kids. So, if they couldn't come to school, the school would come to them. We decided to download the previous day's classes for them and even prepared colorful charts and interactive games to keep them engaged during the class. Headmistress Elizabeth Fernandez said. Fernandez, along with 4 other teachers, would take daily classes for these kids. A Kolkata man set up a footpath clinic to treat street kids for free. Kolkata local Chandrasekhar Kundu set up a footpath clinic to treat street children who couldn't afford proper medical care. His makeshift clinic has 40 volunteer doctors who offered their services. While the clinic was started in 2019, it's important to note how much value it had in 2020. Reportedly, hundreds of children have received medical treatment and has been a means for a lot of people who can't manage to feed themselves, let alone get access to good healthcare. Delhi Ricksawala wraps stray in a warm blanket and gives it a ride. And finally, this cute story of a Delhi rickshawala showing compassion, this adorable street dog who was shivering in Delhi's harsh winter. The photos were shared by Twitter users and instantly went viral, garnering thousands and thousands of retweets and comments. So, while 2020 was arguably one of the worst years in recent memory, it's helpful to think of the small and beautiful instances that show that the human spirit will always triumph over anything.